Akademiks. Can't ride no way.
Before he went to the Opelika airport to try to board a plane, allegedly headed to the Bahamas for spring break. The person that was at that property was Stevie J. So Stevie J actually did an interview with TMZ, and he actually is talking about a bunch of stuff. Not only is he talking about, him calling out 50 Cent, because 50 Cent been trolling during this whole thing. He talked about how the raid was, and I think this one is probably the one for the raid. Here we go. Let's listen to this.
Stevie, it's my understanding that when the raid went down in Miami, were you on Star Island or were you actually at Diddy's house? I know you were in Miami.
I was at his crib working in the studio. I was sitting outside the studio door, and I heard a big boom. Now, mind you, before we get into this, I'm not a spring chicken, even though I look fly and stuff. But I've witnessed some historical events of excessive force, but none like this since Saddam Hussein or El Chapo or Pablo Escobar even Osama bin Laden. I heard a big boom. So I'm thinking a lot of people do work on the island all day long, so I'm figuring someone dropped some materials. Heard it again. Turn my head, I'm hearing do, 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 do. Armored vehicles, 3 big armored vehicles come. Dudes jump out, I got 50 dots on my shirt. Screaming, yo, get on the ground. I'm like, yo, really? I'm the only one here. Took me outside, I asked to speak to the higher ups. I was under arrest. And they said, no, you're being detained. I want to speak to the higher ups. Spoke to the higher ups. I said, am I under arrest? They said, no, you're not. Let me let you go. Boom. Let me go check your bags. You don't have any weapons and all. I'm like, I don't have any weapons.
Stevie, what did they take from the house? Were you able to see?
I saw them take a bag of one bag.
Well, did they take electronics? Because they did in Los Angeles.
I'm sure they took some electronics, some of the camera stuff and all that. Probably they didn't want him to get a look at what they were doing in his crib, like how they came in with the armored trucks. Of course, they took all that stuff.
What did you see when you walked back in?
I just don't want to get too much into that. I just know that I walked in and they messed the man crib up, you know what I'm saying? And they did his crib dirty. And, I haven't seen anything like this in a long time.
Can you tell us what his reaction was when you spoke to him the next day?
He was just devastated, just merely because he was going out of the country with his daughters for spring break.
Yo, I hate y'all niggas, man. I look over at the chat. The chat saying facts. Yo, you spitting. Yo, y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. Yo, I look over the chat, somebody says, facts, this boy's spitting. I'm like, okay, fuck, let me keep going. Okay, I'm gonna repeat everything I said, it's all good. I had stopped the video because of this. Wait, sorry.
He was just devastated, just merely because he was going out of the country with his daughters for spring break.
Okay, perfect. So what I was saying was this. 100 million%, and I told y'all because a lot of people kept questioning the timing of the raid. Why now? Why whatever. The feds were probably sitting and watching him and surveilling his movement throughout the United States, maybe back and forth to LA and Miami, maybe he went to New York. And I think just use your brain to think, right? They realize he's boarding a plane, and allegedly that plane was headed to the Bahamas for spring break. If he's going to the Bahamas for spring break, right, he's going to be out the country. He's going to be outside the jurisdiction. You want to hit that search warrant before he gets there because let's say, which I'm just making this up, obviously, but let's say Diddy was up to much more facetious shit. He leaves the country. You run into his crib when he's not here. You find severed heads, dead bodies, all type of shit that immediately you would have arrested him for, right? Immediately, right? Like you find some smoking gun evidence you would have arrested him for. It's most likely at that point, Diddy, if he's outside the country, is going to just somehow get to some place that he can't be extradited. He ain't coming back. So the feds doing this at the moment he is trying to board a plane tells me they were watching him for at least a week. Oh shit, okay, damn it. Now we have to hit now because he's about to go to Bahamas. We don't have jurisdiction there. Let's detain him here. Let's go search the crib. And I'm pretty sure when they searched the crib, they were looking for very damning evidence that it could have been other crimes that they could have slapped cuffs on him, even though they did let him go. And I know some people could contend, well, he could still leave now. Diddy engaged the feds with his lawyers. He would be stupid to leave now because, you know, if he ever gets charged, you're not going to get any type of bond because it's going to be made a point by the prosecutor. Hey, listen, when this guy knew there was an investigation against him, this guy knew that A, B, C, and D were happening, he essentially kept leaving the country. Not that he can't, but this guy likes to evade or likes to be in the jurisdiction of other countries, which that's a flight risk already. So if you ask me, they did it at the particular time that he was, and again, we've seen multiple reports, that jet he was getting on was going to the Bahamas for spring break. There was another jet that he owns, Love Air, that was given to his side chick, like, what was that girl name? The little sex worker, allegedly, Young Miami and her little thought friends. But his jet was going to the Bahamas, right? The other jet was in Antigua. That just tells us all we need to know. The feds has been on this, watching this, waiting for the right moment to strike. And also, it probably helps Diddy a little bit because I think they were hoping to find maybe also some things that were very damning in there that they would have slapped cuffs on him that day. They did not arrest him that day, so they allowed him to go. But the reason why they detained him is that if they did find some shit crazy, like say again, if Diddy had like kids trapped in the basement or some shit, if that was his reality and they find like 15 kids trapped in the basement, you think that nigga's coming back from the Bahamas, bro? That nigga's out. Like, peace, nigga. So that was their chance to make sure that if they did find anything too crazy, he couldn't leave, which again, you have to just kind of think how the feds are moving. Anyway, I'll let him continue.
You know, and they had to witness things like that at the airport. I believe that would kind of shift the thinking of any man in general. If you're going on vacation with your kids and the feds show up and ruin your trip, and it's their senior year, you know what I mean? So I know he was more hurt by that.
Okay. Then he also spoke about the issues with 50. He said this.
I don't know whatever someone does in their bedroom, that's what they do. I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm just here to say that I've never seen my man doing anything foul like they talking about.
None of it. All of it. I mean, you know.
I've never seen it. I've known him for 29 years. And then it's like with guys like 50.
Now, before we get into that, him saying that's an important statement, but that statement will come in an interrogation. I mean, I'm pretty sure he didn't want to speak about certain things. You know, salute to Stevie J for even doing this interview, because I could imagine everybody who, if the feds raided a crib, no matter who was detained, which he was detained, the kids were detained, you should probably have a lawyer deal with the police afterwards, right? Because it's also possible if they have direction to seize electronic devices, they could have seized his shit too, right? Because they don't, again, the feds don't know what's what. They might just be like, hey, we're taking your phone. You need to come down to the station or whatever the case is, prove that it's your phone, because the orders say seize all of Diddy's phones and all of Diddy's electronics, but we don't know who's what. Like when you run into a place, it's not like written on some shit like, hey, this is Diddy's phone or Diddy's whatever the case is. So at times they can seize everybody's shit. You get what I'm saying? And they'll do that and be like, you guys figure it out. So I would imagine that when dealing with the police at that point, you want to have a lawyer. Do I believe Stevie J has a lawyer? Of course I believe he has a lawyer. Now, he's doing this interview and he's saying stuff, right? This is still important because it's an ongoing investigation. And I only say that because there's, you know, salute to Harvey Levin from TMZ. There's an obvious question to be asked here. Have you been interviewed by the police yet? Have you been interviewed by HSI? Have you been interviewed by the feds? You know, you're alleged to be a guy in a gay porno, which it wasn't him, but you were alleged to be in one of these freak offs, right? That people were showing to coerce other people. Well, you may have some knowledge about that. The police would want to inquire, have you been questioned? I don't think Harvey Levin asked him about that at all. But he did say something important right here. Just check this out.
Foul like they talking about.
None of it.
Now, okay, so he says,
My man doing anything foul.
here we go.
That's what they do. I don't got nothing.
Sorry.
I don't know whatever someone does in their bedroom, that's what they do.
Okay. Now, he contradicts him. He says, whatever somebody does in their bedroom, I don't know what they do. Now, here's the thing. If he's never been in a bedroom or he's not privy to the information that happens in Diddy's bedroom, all the information he's about to say is null and void. Because he's literally saying whatever a man does in the bedroom, I don't know about. So if he doesn't know this information, this other shit he's about to say by saying, well, I've known it for 29 years. I've never heard about this. Well, you would only know about this if you're in the freak offs. If you're saying you've never been in the freak off, you would know about this. Unless Diddy was bragging about the freak offs.
I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm just here to say that I've never seen my man doing anything foul like they talking about.
None of it.
And this is why this is like an on the surface like TMZ interview too, because this is TMZ. If they wanted to grill him, they could have grilled him. Okay, here's the thing. Because I think what Stevie J is talking about, I think Stevie J probably know Diddy was on some freaky shit. I think he's saying, yo, he wasn't forcing women to do stuff. He wasn't fucking sex trafficking. Like, I think that's what Stevie J's talking about. But if you ask him, okay, well, do you know if Diddy's hired escorts before? Do you know if he's interested in some of these activities that, again, he might think is consensual, but you don't know the other parties. Do they think it's consensual? That's a good question to ask.
All of it. I mean,
I've never seen it. I've known him for 29 years. And then it's like with guys like 50, you know what I'm saying? Like Uncle Tom cats like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you want to put me, I don't know if y'all saw the post where 50 posted about me. Of course you guys seen it. Right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, 50 has been going after Diddy and everybody associated with him for months now, ever since the Cassie lawsuit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, you can't brush under the rug. I don't see anybody reporting about what Tatted Up Holly said about him beating her up and about, you know what I'm saying, his other baby mom saying beating her up. I just look at it as, he wants to bring...
By the way, that's like nasty behavior. But again, they said all is good. All is fair in love and war. This is like snitch for snitch. It's like, yo, well, shit. If he trying to tell on Diddy and trying to get him in trouble, what about people go investigate what he got going on? He should be in trouble too. It's like snitch for snitch. But again, the saying goes, all is fair in love and war.
The black community down worse than anyone else. How is that so? I said what I said on my post, and I'm standing on that too. Now, since he didn't accept what my offer to him, and he want to continue to be a comedian, why don't you go make some movies with Michael Blackson and don't talk about me?
Okay.
If you don't want to fight, if you don't want to donate to charity, donate the bread to charity and fight. Don't stop being a girl and talking about dudes. I find it funny that, when they first try to crucify somebody, they go through the media first. And they're just flooded with lies and propaganda. I'm not concerned about this this dude Curtis. You know what I'm saying? He's Uncle Tom, and that's just what it is. I'm going to speak on 1,000% of what I know to be true about my guy. My spirits are up. He's spending time with his children and his mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm working out. He's doing very well. I've known this guy for 29 years. See, I'm not just a guy off the internet trolling. I'm a first-hand witness.
Okay. I'm going to make a prediction of what's I think is going to happen. We're seeing phases of this, by the way, I keep telling y'all, what's happening is 100,000,000% part of Diddy has the best lawyers in the world. There's nobody that's acting out. There's nobody just jumping out, being sporadic. There's no TMZ interviews being given out by people that he's employed and paid millions of dollars to. And, has literally has their vested interest in him being free and him not having his reputation ruined. These things aren't happening if Diddy doesn't not only know about it, if they haven't gone over, hey, listen, this is why we're doing this, or if this is not part of the plan. Here's what I personally think. And again, you could take it with a grain of salt. You know, I'm in media. So I look at a lot of things on PR level, right? Public relations, because I know how when people are trying to make a play, how they try to manipulate the media and how they try to react to the media, right? So right now the media is actually biting more than it could chew, trying to find every salacious video, image, any soundbite of Diddy that sounded like he might have done this. Yes, right now it is heavily not in his favor, right? Like the Mike Tyson footage. Shit, Diddy was in a movie with I forgot what the name of the dude is, and Diddy said some shit that sounded gay, and they were like, look, you can tell it was doing it all along. You know, like some of these stuff are a little bit of an overreach. There's actual things there we could talk about, but there's so much other shit that's ancillary that's an overreach. But the media is going to just keep piling on. Hey, I told y'all, look. Now, this is what, his legal team is going to do. His legal team is probably in communication. And what I mean in communication, they're talking to the feds. They have to speak to the feds. The feds are carrying out an investigation. You have to, it's best suited if you try to not only assist, but be cooperative. Now, that doesn't mean tell. That doesn't mean snitch. But if you're truly an innocent person, to speeding up the process or whatever, you want to help. I'll give you an example of how he could be helping. Okay, the feds already did the search warrant. They've got thousands of information, thousands of things they've taken out, thousands of terabytes of information to look at, right? I'm pretty sure most of Diddy's devices had passwords, key codes, encryption, all these things that protected it. They grab all the physical devices. Now, here's the thing. Diddy right now is in purgatory. He's being looked at as persona non grata, which means that nobody's thinking that he ain't innocent. They're thinking, we've heard so much bullshit, you're probably guilty. They're trying to get his name cleared as quickly as possible. I could imagine that Diddy's lawyers, they're doing two things. It's probably split both ways. And there's probably a third division. So there's half of, well, I wouldn't say actually like really half, but there are certain people in the division that's going to control PR. We're going to get to that because I think this is PR. There's another part that's going to work with the feds. They're going to be dealing with anything criminal that ever comes out of this. But in dealing with that, you have to deal with it before the charges get filed, if there's ever going to be charges filed. They're probably saying, hey, listen, yo, Diddy, yo, feds, yo, we'll give you all his passwords. Yo, the nigga got nothing to hide. He got nothing to hide. Like, we want this investigation to be done, openly and quickly, that we could not have this guy's entire life. It's already like affected by all this shit, but we're trying to get his name vindicated, right? Hey, go look at his, you already got his laptop. Here's the password. Go do this. Hey, we'll send you an archive thing of all his emails. We'll actually, you don't even need a subpoena, I don't know, T-Mobile or whatever he got for his phone company. We'll just open the fucking phone. I would imagine if there isn't nothing there, they will be trying to work with the feds like that, right? This is a time that Diddy's lawyers is going to be speaking to the feds because this is around the time of a grand jury, right? We don't know if one is already convened. Some people would believe it's convened because they're hearing about subpoenas, right? Once you start hearing about subpoenas for records, that could be before they convene, but that could be added into a grand jury process to figure out if he will be indicted or not. So we don't know where that is. So Diddy's team is definitely talking to the police. That's not snitching. That's them looking out for Diddy and making sure, hey, listen, we're representing an innocent man here. Just letting you know, we're not hiding nothing. Come look at it. Matter of fact, you ain't even need to kick the door down. Like, what the fuck you got going on? Come in. We're going to show you what's up. Cool. The other part of his team, when it comes to, his legal team, they're going to be working with people who are PR strategists on how to try to kind of use like a fire extinguisher for some of these narratives being built for what the blogs are going on with, because most of the blogs, like everybody right now is bloodthirsty. There's blogs I know right now every day they're running checks to see if Diddy has been taken into custody. Because some people are thinking any day now, and some people might think, hey, he might get taken in a couple of months. So people are expecting this next step. Diddy goes to jail, then this trial or whatever the case is. They're trying to extinguish some of these narratives that have built up, and some of them are actually false. Like, for example, at least in a Lil Rod lawsuit where they claim that he was with little kids, right? Like, pictured with kids. That wasn't kids. It was actually 2 grown women. So they're trying to work these angles. Here's my summation. This is my assumption. If you think it's wrong, you can say, I don't believe that. I think you're bullshitting. But, I think I'm pretty reasonable, and I've kind of done, my due diligence on researching a lot of cases like this before, or just cases in general. I think the first phase after the search warrant was, let's have Diddy show face, not say anything publicly, but we need to let people know Diddy is not acting like a guilty man. It already came out in the media that people were believing that he was trying to run, which when you tried to run or you tried to evade, you seem guilty, even if that's not what you're really doing. So they're showing him walking around nonchalantly. They're showing him, by the way, you know how I know that's PR set up? If you look at the videos of even Diddy with daughters, Top Golf, Diddy has one of the biggest security teams. You don't see no security, none of these videos, nothing. Just him and his daughters, okay? Looks innocent, family day out. Diddy does video with, he does a video with some guy. It looks like Diddy seems super unbothered. He's still living his life. He's a happy guy. And the reason why he would be such a guy is because he's innocent, right?
Pura Vida by my pad, run into the man right here. What's up? Miami's like that. Yeah. It's a movie.
The smile, even though it looks forced, you could tell it looks forced. Don't that smile look forced? But hey, shit, he don't look stressed. He's not worried about anything because he ain't do nothing. That's what the lawyers are telling him. Hey, maybe with the exception of going out the country, they're like, hey, listen, Diddy, whatever you've been doing, we need you to keep doing. We don't need you to be locking yourself in some war room in your mansion, talking to us all day. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. You're paying us millions for this. You need to be a regular person. You're Diddy. To take that guy. You're the guy whose face is all over the media. People know you for being a public figure. You can't just put your head in the sand. And I'm gonna tell you where I'm going with all of this, right? Because I think phase 1 was, don't look guilty. Don't hide from people. Look like this isn't bothering you because you're innocent.
Down here at Pura Vida by my pad, run into the man right here.
See? Hey, whatever. Got the smile going on. Chilling.
What's up? Miami's like that. Yeah. It's a movie.
Cool. Right? Then we also see Hollywood Fix. Here we go. You go here. And remember I told you, Diddy seen chilling. It's a Hollywood Fix. Anybody know what song is playing, chat? What song is playing? I need somebody with a good ear. What song is playing? Okay. Anyway, so I think that's a part of the PR. Now, again, it's just, hey, listen, Diddy, just be normal. We're handling this shit. You got the best. You hired the best. You're paying the most amount of money. We're gonna handle this shit. Just don't look guilty. Don't answer no questions. And just go about your day. If you usually take pictures with fans, still take pictures with fans. Yo, somebody ask you for a video shot, keep doing that. Okay, now watch this. The next step is having people, which, by the way, we've been asking this, speak up for you. You tell me, why do you think Stevie J, who could have said what he said way before, when the Lil Rod lawsuit came out, even though he did say stuff, but he didn't speak on Diddy's character, right? He only was just like, he was just talking about, hey, that's false, about me. He could have been spoke up for Diddy's character, never did until now. Then, not only that,